It's Shanny with Healing Elements with a Shanny Testifies video. And I wanted to do this for, many reasons. And I'll explain as I go what reasons they are. But as you know, maybe if you're new to my channel, then you're finding out for the first time with this video. I am very expressive. I'm someone who has found an outlet with my YouTube and Instagram channel when something does come up in my life that is not something that I can, derive healing from and need outside, source of empowerment, encouragement, validation. Healers need healing too, is what I always say. So I think showing a vulnerability and some evidence that we are all a work in progress, no matter what we, practice, and we can practice what we preach, but getting support and being able to vent is very important. So I use this platform and able to, in order to vent, express myself, and it's kind of like a really cool therapy session. It's been since 2017 for me to, get on camera and get onto a platform somewhere, where somebody who knows me, maybe they don't know me, maybe they're a viewer, maybe you're a subscriber, maybe you just found this for the first time. Somebody is going to view each video, in my opinion, for a reason, for their own journey, their own soul path. And so that's why I think that it's good for me to vent. It's therapeutic, just like therapists mainly are there to listen, validate, and let you vent and talk. And, without using word salad or word vomit, and explore by having it come up with your own, voice and doing. So I feel like YouTube, Instagram, my videos are definitely a source for that, because as I speak, of course, that will give me food for thought for later, self-reflection, that kind of thing. And so this is a Shanny Testifies video about how I'm always preaching, opposition, and where there's great fun, there could be a catastrophe the next day, that life is definitely, my throat chakra has been doing that, as we, of course, get into Mercury retrograde. So communication will be a little bit tougher. Back to my my preaching, my story to you guys. So I had a wonderful, wonderful experience being like a child in Disneyland for 2 days. It was beautiful. I have 3 children, 22, 18, and 15. Since I've been 20, I've been a mother, and so I've been taking my kids. I'm very grateful for that, being in California, very close to it. I've been taking my kids throughout their life, and so this was an opportunity for me to go and be a kid again as an adult without any kids, and it was just really fun, really blissful, beautiful, very, very, up-tempo, joyful, positive vibrations, right? And then, of course, come home, fly back from LA to San Francisco, SFO, and we live in a really, really cute family-based complex. It has like upstairs, downstairs townhomes, apartments, and it is just, we've lived here for 2 years, and it's just a really good vibe, really good mix, diverse community, every race you can think of. My beautiful neighbors to the left, my Filipino family neighbors, I love. We bake each other things. It's just really good energy, good vibes. And we're all, not perfect, but definitely where you can have, there's, always kids, 12 of them in the courtyard, and, I'm able to go out, during nighttime to our little area outside, where you can sit and chill and smoke if you want. And so that being said, come back on this joyful, blissful high. Of course, my younger 2 kids were here. When I went to LA alone, they were with my eldest, who's 22, very capable, very responsible. So that wasn't an issue. But what happened the night, we flew in the morning back home, and we're chilling at home. And what happened that very night has me venting to you through this video, because it's something I've never gone through. It's something that I had to surrender to fear, and really just surrender to getting through the anxiety and the trauma and the fear and the, I still am terrified, but I'm controlling it and very, very mindful about being grateful for what could have happened and didn't. So we're here, and my son had just left like an hour before to go to his friends to spend the night. And so my 18-year-old son was gone, but it was my 2 daughters. We all 5 live here, my husband, Aaron, myself, and my 2 daughters, the 22-year-old and 15-year-old. So we had just ordered pizza. The Uber Eats guy had just gone, literally had just left about 20 minutes ago before this incident. And so we're watching TV, we're watching a movie, and all of a sudden, I'm not a gun person, I'm a hippie, no judgment at all. This is not what this is about. But I'm a super hippie, like I won't touch one. My grandpa, retired captain, would always get me, or try to get me to fire one. I wasn't into it, but I've heard a gun because my whole family is into them. And so I've heard a gun like years ago, 20 years ago. I know what a gun sounds like, very, very distinct. So all of a sudden we are scared to death, startled, and jumped because we heard 3 loud shots. It sounded like it was right outside of our door. We have glass French doors too, so that was kind of freaky. So instantly, of course, being a mom, being whatever, Pisces, being someone who is alert and very, I guess, hyper vigilant about danger. Being a mom, you have to, I guess. So I instantly said, get away from the doors, the glass doors. Those were gunshots. Something has happened in this complex. And so, long story short, my 2 daughters really looked baffled, but kind of tried to rationalize it, as we all would do. No, Mom, that had to have been fireworks, right? And my husband, Capricorn, quiet. And when I'm right, he won't say a word. So he's like looking at me like, I think so. And so instantly we knew that something bad had happened because the police came in with huge guns, 12 strong. Upstairs we have 3 levels. Well, the 2 levels here are, like our upstairs and downstairs townhouse, and then they're on the top. There are 1-bedroom and studios, I think. And so cops came in all levels, and each of our apartment door, a single police officer came and knocked on the door and interviewed us and asked us if anything had occurred. Of course, we said yes. We think we heard 3 gunshots. We're terrified. What's going on? And, they said, okay, we'll be back. Close your windows. Don't say anything. So we got in the house. Another officer came a little while later. I'm totally just having to, like I said, process and be vulnerable and surrender to like, okay, it's okay. You know how to calm down. You know how to meditate. You know how to get through tough situations. But the situation calls for, a human nature reaction of being fearful so that you can protect yourself. And it just was terrifying to hear the gunshots. It was very traumatic. I'm still finding it to be traumatic, especially after I'll tell you what happened. So the second officer came back and said, you know what, we're going to be investigating. Don't be alarmed. There's caution tape. So yellow caution tape is around our whole courtyard for hours. My neighbor calls and she says, girl, did you hear that when we're talking? And she said, I am scared to death. There are 3 bullet holes in an apartment right above you across the courtyard. I was like, what? Sure enough, in the apartment that is across, and I mean, like, you can throw a stone to it, guesstimate 50 feet at best, across and up, there is a pregnant woman, a girl. She looks to be under 25, and they just moved in about 5 weeks ago. She's obvious pregnant, so I'd say 2nd or 3rd trimester, and her apartment has 3 huge bullet holes in it. So, that is totally spurred a long night of me and my youngest daughter, most particularly having insomnia. I didn't sleep a week. I was shaking and had to surrender to. Yes, I am very afraid because there was no one apprehended, and they had kept us, I guess, informed a couple hours for that night, just saying, yeah, just stay inside because he's armed and at large, whomever this person is. They had video footage, so it was a man that did this, per the manager and police, to try to scare somebody. But we are in, again, a really, really family-based community, and all of us feel the same way. Like we've been in diverse areas. I've lived in South San Francisco. I've lived in some, country hick parts of Tracy where people have guns, but I've never been that close to something that could have killed somebody. She was inside, the pregnant woman, but was not struck, and 2 of the bullets did go into the apartment next door, which had kids in it. So it's totally terrifying. I've definitely calmed down. I did a beautiful reading. I want to shout out. Thank you, Jared. Shout out if you ever see this. I just want to say what beautiful energy. Aquarius energy was just really, really flowing, and I was able to get, so much out of the reading. And so, I've been able to function. Couldn't function that whole night and a little bit the next morning, but after rest, of course, and just doing what I know to do, meditating and trying to really force myself into being mindful and grateful for what blessings did occur. Grateful that the pregnant girl and her baby did not lose their lives. Also grateful for the fact that we were not harmed, and grateful for the fact that I'm going to continue to pray that this person does not come back. And that is my vent sesh to you guys. Just to let you know, healers need healing too. Trying the best that I can to be vulnerable on my channel with Shanny Testifies and let you know, definitely a work in progress, and definitely have the everyday stressors that you do. Blessings.